What up, Ray? What up, Twiz?
Oye, te hablo desde la prisión. Wilson Manyoma. Corona.
Oh man. Oh man, oh man. It's your boy, Justin, and my man, Berto. We're back after 2 weeks in hiatus.
Feels good to be back.
Episode 35 feels great to be back, man. Feels great.
37.
What'd I say?
Episode 35.
37, Jesus Christ.
Can you give me a quick clap to make sure we're synced? Let's see. I gotta wait for it to come. Pause. I have so much. Perfect. We're in sync. Perfect. I have so much shit that I want to talk about.
Yo, please, man, because I ain't got...
There's so much stuff has been happening. Most recently, obviously, I don't know if you watched it, the Locks versus the Dipset, Locks versus Dipset shit. And I don't watch verses.
Listen, man, I don't really watch verses either, but one thing I do have to say, Dipset music is not made for a battle.
No.
There's no, you can't come on talking about computers putin and shit after Jada says, I know guys that go to jail just to get their teeth fixed.
Like Jada never spit a bad bar.
Never in his life.
Never spit a whack bar.
He never spit a bar that wasn't a punchline.
Yeah.
Every single bar in his verse would be anybody else's last bar in a segment.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
Jada never spit a whack verse. 100%. You want some of this?
Never. Yeah, man. We're popping Pellegrino out here, man.
They're doing good, yo.
Fancy.
These 2 weeks off, we've been counting fucking money. That's what we've been doing.
It's fancy shit. You know what I mean? I don't even count it. I weigh it. You know what I'm saying?
With the scale that with the whales weight. Listen, so I don't want to go too far.
See what you did there.
Yeah, I don't want to go too far away from this Locks versus Dipset. I just want to get at my whole like thing about it off, and then we could get into the other shit because this brings me up into another conversation. I don't want to digress immediately. I want to talk about this for at least a little bit.
That's right. I agree.
God, the Locks really went off.
Locks are legendary.
It was like clearly like obvious as I was watching it that these guys were just on a different level. Like the music is just different. They were on a different level.
Yeah, man.
Their songs were just banger after banger. The Dipset's got bangers. Cam got bangers.
Yeah.
Jim got bangers. But Ballin's not better than any of the songs that the Locks played.
The thing with Dipset is a lot of their best records they're like slower pace. They're records that they're not battle. This was a battle.
Yeah, dude. You know how many stabbings been committed to the Locks records?
Bro, you just can't. The Locks is just hard New York bars, hard New York rap,
Facts.
which is essentially they rap, they record battle verses on songs.
On tracks. Yeah,
that's what that is. You can't. That would be like putting, like Just Blaze, who makes crazy ass hard, like triumphant hard sample beats, crazy. Those are like battle beats, for the most part, unless you're talking about like Song Cry and shit like that. But I mean like his big beats, like those Beanie Siegels beats and those like Petey Crack beats he was doing and all that kind of shit. That would be like that against like Darkchild, who made great beats, but they were Destiny's Child beats. They were
or somebody
beats.
who does like melodic fucking music.
It was like R&B beats. Like those beats are incredible, but in a battle, it's not the right. It's not the right
same
segment.
thing.
It's not the right. It's not.
Yeah, so I thought the memes were crazy. The internet's wild. You seen the meme with Jadakiss in the pink makeup shit?
They edited that face onto
that face is
camp
perfect.
photo. Crazy. I was like,
it was perfect. It looks like it was really Jada in that shit.
I was like, yo, whoever photoshopped that shit, like the Locks need to hire them.
Bro, the internet is unbelievable. I seen like a whole entire like news article about like a murder was committed last night. Like artist named Jadakiss of the Locks. Like it was like crazy. It was like a real news article about the Locks murdering these dudes.
Yo, you see all the edits of like them like street fights. Like there's this one fight where it's like this whole family. This dude is just like plucking everybody. He's just like knocking everybody out, ragging everybody. And then they did those stupid edits of like the face. It's like Cam, like he's like this. He's like running by. He's like,
it looks like a shitty South Park.
Like yeah. Yeah, he's getting, and it's just like Jada, and then you see like Sheik is just in the background, like ready to just sneak somebody, but he's not really doing shit.
I haven't seen that.
Yo, it's fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
the internet
bro.
took that shit and just went with it. It was it's so funny. You don't even have to. They don't have to tell us who wins anything anymore. The internet's gonna decide who wins.
The outfits alone, bro. Everybody was like, "Yo, Jada's in the Timbs. Jimmy came in leather pants.
They said that
Jimmy thought he was gonna do shit in leather pants."
They said Joel's looked like he fell in the closet. They got a picture of him laying down. Why Joel's had on like 2 do-rags. He had one under the hat, one over the hat, and then he had the bandana like holding it all together.
The Dipset shit with the bandana open, son. Yo, that shit. Yo, but I can't lie. I loved Dipset growing up, bro. When I was in high school, Dipset was so fire. That's when Diplomatic Immunity was out, that double disc. Y'all used to go to bed with that every night. That ba-da-ba-ba, yeah, that's
Bro,
hot.
I remember
That's hot.
Purple Haze, bro, came out when I was in high school, bro.
Yeah.
I have nothing against the Locks. I don't want to make, against Dipset. I don't want to make it seem like I don't
love them
appreciate
both.
their music. I love them both. I just think that there was an assassination that took place, or a vicious like beating that took place the other night between them two.
And the COs never came.
They never came, no.
The COs never came.
I don't even get, and it's funny because I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. Nah, Dipset was supposed to win. The Locks were prepared. You're bugging.
Yo.
There's not you can't give me a bad Locks lineup of songs. Like you can't like. The thing about it is also the Locks got more continuity when it comes to music. Dipset's, they've been doing music together for a long time, but there's a lot of ups and downs where they weren't doing music together and they were making their own solo hits. Like, Jada got a couple solo hits, but there's a lot more Locks hits than there is independent Jada hits or independent Chic hits or definitely independent Chic or Styles songs.
Yeah.
You know, Jada's got a couple ones that they're not on, but for the most part, they're on each other's songs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the likelihood of them having more songs together is just more likely, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think, and I don't know the whole playlist that they did, but I don't think they even played like a Just a Jada track, and they played like a bunch of Just a Jim Jones songs or a bunch of Just Cam songs. And then what's Joel's banger? What's his fucking?
What, Oh Boy?
Is it Oh Boy? Is that? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
he had a
guess.
couple, man, like the Whistle song. And
The Whistle song was definitely his banger.
Records. But it's just certain songs and certain beats and certain artists are battle type of music, and and some of it's just not. You can't. Dipset is not. You're not gonna follow a hard ass Locks record with Oh Boy, even though Oh Boy was a crazy ass hit. Even like Computers Putin, y'all get shot at, call me, I do the shooting. Like, that's just too slow. You got Jada like ba 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 just coming like this. He brings the energy. Like, Dipset music is not energetic in a live sense.
No.
Like, when you're chilling with your boys and shit, it's swaggy music.
Dipset's something you smoke to. The Locks is something you stab to.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you listen to Dipset, you'll make the move smart. You'll drop it off where you're supposed to and shit like that. You listen to the Locks, you riding down the highway, shit is loaded on your lap. You just doing reckless shit. You know what I'm saying?
bro.
The stash ain't even locked.
Jada makes me speed, bro.
Yeah, bro, you listen to the Locks, you still take the trip out of town with no registration.
Oh my God,
You still
yes,
do it.
bro.
You still do it. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of just gangster shit in general, did you catch and you couldn't have caught it because it leaked, or you might have seen it because it leaked, but the wack100 a couple weeks ago got on Instagram and he was talking about how he wants to sit down with Tekashi and have a conversation with him about, everything that happened and stuff.
Who's
like
wack100?
Wack100, he's like this.
He's a gang member?
Yeah.
He's one of the dudes from the crew that he ratted on?
No, he's from California.
So he's an OG.
He's a real deal OG, and now he's like a manager. He manages the game. He manages Ray J. That's the correct terminology.
Yeah.
He Ray J, the game. I think Chris Brown. Blueface. I don't think Chris Brown. Maybe not Chris Brown.
Okay, so he manages him, and he also manages artists that are gang members. So he's trying to give 6ix9ine a pass. What exactly?
Well, what the interview ended up becoming, and I may or may not have heard the leak copy because it's on a new platform. It's like Academics got the interview, but he doesn't have a podcast, so he just created a podcast just for this, and he's gonna continue, I guess, doing episodes. But it's about like 3 hours long of them yelling at each other, and Wack was only just saying that what
Wack
he did.
yelling at who?
Tekashi yelling at Wack. They're both yelling at each other.
Oh, they're both on the same podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So, and Wack's just saying like, yo, essentially what he was saying is that it's okay that you ratted because you're not a gangster. So you don't live by the same rules that we live by. He said you came home because you had the money, you had the bag, and they brought you home, and you never even really came home. Like you were like an affiliate.
Yeah. I got you.
So you don't follow the same rules, and then it was Tekashi saying that he really is a gangster, back and forth, blah 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 blah. It was like a 3 hour.
So he was trying to defend the gangster shit.
He wasn't defending the fact that he thinks that he shouldn't have snitched. Like he says that he would snitch again. You know what I'm saying? What he's saying is that Tekashi's point, which I could totally see, is that there's rules, right? There's rules to the streets, and it's like he lists like a couple things. And
you don't talk about your family. Don't go after.
It's like loyalty.
With your man's girl, like all
yeah,
that kind
stuff
of shit.
like that, like just like loyalty, honor, respect, blah 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 blah, and it's like, well, they slept with my girl, so they wasn't loyal, and like they wasn't honest.
Didn't they threaten his
They
mom?
kidnapped him.
Yeah,
They kidnapped him, and he didn't even, and he that wasn't even when he snitched. They kidnapped him. He got away. He didn't say nothing, and then so they did all this to him. He goes, but because I broke the one rule. He goes, now I'm the bad guy and everybody has to dislike me. He goes, but there's plenty of people who snitch and they don't get it like I get it. He goes, I broke one rule. He goes, they broke them all. He goes, he's basically saying like I fed all of them. Like I felt like I fed every single one of them and they broke all these rules against me. But because I broke this rule, like I'm the bad person,
he's
essentially.
like the worst one.
Yeah. And how come like there's other rappers that there's paperwork on other rappers that they snitch and nobody's like blackballing them and XYZ, so on and so forth. It's kind of, if you're able to listen to a couple hood dudes scream at each other for a little while, like if you're comfortable in that environment, then you would really think you could listen to it, no problem.
But do you get to hear anything they're discussing, or are they
Yeah,
just yelling over each other?
Well, no. They are yelling, and sometimes they're yelling over each other, but they never get anywhere.
I know 6ix9ine was doing. Hold on.
Bro, he was bringing in everybody. He was asking people on the side, but it's crazy to hear his story now. He's like, yo, I haven't had security in 8 months. He's like, I'm in the streets. He's like, you don't, he goes, it's just, you got to listen to it. And it's not released yet, so you have to wait till Academics releases it. So,
all right. I'm trying to see how.
There's like snippets of it. There's like, he's like released like teasers, like 10-minute clips and shit like that. But it's definitely an interesting interview about like how he was essentially canceled. Just like you see Rolling Loud, the baby. Did you see that shit?
Yeah.
Rolling Loud, for anybody who doesn't know, for some context, the baby said at Rolling Loud, he not allegedly, he in some people's opinion made a bunch of homophobic remarks.
Yeah.
He was saying,
I listened to exactly what he said.
Yeah, I don't even want to repeat what he said so nobody clips it.
Yeah, he said certain things that can be taken multiple ways.
Yeah.
In really it's depending on what you think. He said things that people found offensive to the LGBT community, stuff like that. He also said stuff kind of about women in a way. Like I said, there was a lot of things that he said, but what people said was worse is he kind of doubled down on it.
Oh, yeah.
And said, but at the same time, like, so you got one way to go or the other. You either apologize and hope that people let you survive, or you just double down on it and try to push through. Those are the two options you have, whether it's politics or whether it's show business. You have two ways to go about it.
Well, he doubled down and they got canceled off a bunch of canceled off a bunch of festivals. And was losing money, and then he apologized. But the truth of the matter is that this is the interesting thing about people getting canceled, right? Nobody is ever canceled by their own fans. People are only canceled by people who never even gave a fuck about them. Yeah, bro. So like the people who don't entertain the nonsense and end up not getting canceled, like the Nelk Boys, they are the people who are like questioned, the quote unquote uncancelable. It's because their fans, they don't give a fuck about anybody but their fans, and their fans love that shit.
Yeah, they eat that shit up.
Dude, the baby fans weren't mad at him for saying
No.
that. Even I'm sure the people who are members of the LGBT community and also the baby fans, some of them didn't give a fuck that the baby said that either.
No, he said, you ain't see my man in the front row with the crop top? He said, we was getting busy.
Because I don't think he's like homophobic or has anything against that community.
I don't think that was the intention.
And that's my thing.
It's intent, in
Yes.
my opinion.
Yes,
is-
100%.
Is what we should be discussing when it comes to somebody getting in trouble and shit. Is the intent. If somebody comes up to me and says, like, I dated a girl one time and we were at dinner at the house and her aunt said to me, oh, are you Italian, you know? Or her grandmother. And I'm like, no, I'm not Italian. She said, well, you Jewish? And I'm like, no, I'm not Jewish either. She said, where are you from? I said, well, I'm from New York. I said, but my family is from Puerto Rico. And she said, Puerto Rico? She said, huh. I worked with one time. Some of them are nice. That's a quote.
Yeah.
Now, when I tell you that I was not offended by this,
Yeah.
because it did not come from a malicious place.
Yeah, they didn't
And
mean that.
I know that was not her intent. She was an 80-year-old Italian lady.
You remember when that psych patient called me a booger face spick?
That's right, and said, "Get him out of my room."
Get
They
him out.
steal. I remember that shit.
Yeah, I
like
know
it was
Puerto
yesterday.
Ricans.
Yeah, I know
Get 'em
Puerto
out of my
Ricans.
room.
Get 'em
They
out.
steal.
They steal. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah,
There
that
was
shit
an
doesn't
older
bother me.
woman that was losing her mind. She was literally demented. She had advanced stage dementia. Are we going to get offended by that? No. Because the intent was not, she didn't know what she was doing.
Yeah, she wasn't
You know?
intentionally trying to disrespect Puerto Ricans.
No.
It's weird, man. We live in a stupid ass society right now, and people are like, we're only getting dumber. I feel like we're only getting dumber. Look at all the people who like now it's all going full circle, right? Everybody who was like talking shit about the vaccine, they're just like falling off the face of the earth. They're just dying. Like every news article you see is like guy who made like TikTok about never getting vaccinated dies from
Yeah.
COVID. And
Yeah.
look at Florida, the fucking land of the free. Their fucking numbers are through the fucking roof.
Yeah.
And I don't know if these are like skewed numbers or, you know, they're cherry picking information or whatever the case may be.
But
I
that's
don't
what's
know.
scary, is we don't know
We don't know what
we
the
don't
truth
know what
is.
data is true anymore.
You don't know what the truth is. But I also think it's interesting that now New York State, you have to, well, it's going to become, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but you're going to need to show proof of vaccination to go in places like maskless, essentially.
Yeah.
So before or everywhere else, New York State's the first place to do it. Everywhere else, you can go in, and if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask in public, right? But New York now, they can ask you if you're vaccinated. You have to show proof.
I'll tell you the truth. Once that really gets rolling, I'm out.
Oh, I think it's like September or some shit
I
like that.
was vaccinated, so I am pro-vaccine. Like, I'm not somebody that's
Yeah, I'm not
gonna say
saying
I'm
you don't-
against the vaccine. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's just to be clear, I am pro-science.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you know, I'm not opposed to the vaccine, and I believe that people getting vaccinated for other diseases and stuff is important. I'm not going to sit here and tell you not to vaccinate your kids. That's ridiculous. But I am pro-freedom. And what starts to concern me is when you start doing things that replicate things that have happened in the past that started off similarly and then ended up not so good. I don't know if you listened to that Joe Rogan podcast, the most recent one,
The one with the girl
with the girl that
from
escaped from North Korea.
I want to listen to it. I don't have Spotify.
Bro, I have the free one. He just has the advertisements in the beginning. You just fast forward.
Yeah,
and it starts.
I'm really, really interested in listening
Bro,
to it. I haven't listened to it yet.
It's scary to me. You know what the scariest thing to me is?
Is that it's happening? That
It's happening in America.
Oh, okay.
The shit that she talks about that they do over there, I'm like, oh my God, that's what they're doing. She's like, they limit information. She's like, you don't know what. She said, I never saw the world map. She said, I didn't know I was Asian. She had no idea. She said she thought she was like the Un race or whatever the emperor's name is. That's like the like Kim Jong-un or whatever, or the guy before him, like the original guy that did this. She's like, that's what I thought the race was. She's like, the way he took over was he nationalized all the land. That was number one, which, you know, nationalizing land is what's happening right now. They're not requiring tenants to pay rent. They're not requiring rent to be paid. So when you don't require rent to be paid, Now you're saying that, and if the people that own this property require that rent to be paid, that's unlawful. So now we're talking about nationalized property. Now we're talking about starting to jeopardize private property.
Yeah.
So now it's unlawful if I own a home and I'm renting it, or I own an apartment and I'm renting it to someone, they don't pay me. And now if I pursue that money with that person, I'm now breaking the law. So this to me that's what it sounds like. They want to do legislation.
You could pursue this person for the money. They just won't enforce their old rule that this person has to pay you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which is, in a sense, it's a roundabout way of nationalizing private property.
No, I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm just saying that I just wanted to give that caveat because you said it's like illegal to go get your money. What's happening here is that it's not illegal, but they're just not going to enforce the rules.
Okay.
Because they're not going to uphold their end of the deal. Like our deal
They're
was
supposed to support you.
Yeah. Our deal was that this is the rule, right? I have some rules too. If I rent property, I have to provide them with certain things that they have, heat, water, these essential things.
Yes.
And they have to pay me.
Correct.
And if I don't give them what I'm supposed to give them, then they don't have to pay me. And if they don't pay me, then I can ask them to leave. And then if they don't leave, the government will help me get them out.
Yeah.
What's happening now is the government is saying things are so quote unquote fucked up that, or not quote nobody, that's not quoting anyone, I'm quoting myself. Things are so fucked up that we're not going to force anybody to leave. So there's no incentive for anybody to pay. And that is it like from my perspective, is it like a long shot from like communism in the sense where like everybody's like, you can't, like, this is all ours and they're going to ration everything out. I think it's a long shot from there, but I think there's qualities of it, just like the ones you're bringing up, that do align with like pretty close enough to communism that you're kind of like, huh.
But you got to remember, this isn't full-blown communism. This is how that stuff comes into play. This is how it starts to be ushered in slowly but surely. The other thing was, she was like, the internet is just being, she's like, we don't have the internet.
They don't have an internet. They have
She's
a
like, we don't
net.
have
They
the
have the
internet.
intranet. They have a network.
They don't even have that in North Korea.
They have a network. Well, they have their own network. They don't have outside internet, but they have like their own internet, and it's obviously completely monitored, and they only have like a couple of their own pages. It's like it's not an internet. It's a network of just like, which is, the internet is a network, but it's not like this huge network. And also, every single one of their computers are registered. So you could have a computer in North Korea, but they only have their.
Are you sure you're not
100%.
talking about China?
No, North Korea. I'm 100% sure.
North Korea is like,
No.
she was making that shit sound crazy. Like, you can't.
Well, not everybody has a computer. Only just like there's
no food.
Yeah, just dude, no food. Have you ever seen the beautiful buildings, apartment buildings that
empty.
nobody lives in?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
'cause
just
they
completely
lie.
empty.
Yeah.
They're just fake. You ever see the stories about people like they have like grocery stores and like the windows are just covered so it looks like there's like full pantries in there, but it's just like a sticker over the window and shit like that. Yeah, so but they do have their own version of they have a network with their own like websites or whatever.
So it's just propaganda and things that aren't true.
What it is it's like they get like a news article every day. I watched like a Vice documentary on it. They get like a news article every day, and
There's an announcement.
Yeah, they could learn about their fearless leader. They could do like their they could just learn about their history, because that's the only thing they do. They just worship this guy and do whatever the fuck.
He's a god.
Yeah,
that's what they say. Like, he's a god, and he follows, like, he duplicated the Bible. Like, that's how he rules. That's how they rule, is by the Bible. Like, he sacrificed his son and shit. And like, it's a that's why like people that end up leaving North Korea naturally become Christian, because it's so similar to the Bible that they just follow it.
If you leave and like me and you are like a family, like they take us all and then they put us in like these camps.
Yes.
And we're not even, and they put us in separate camps.
Bro, she said
so if
3
you
to
escape,
8 generations following the person that did something wrong will be punished.
And they're essentially enslaved to, it's like you're enslaved to work in these like farm, like desolate areas of North Korea.
Yeah, bro. You farm, and she said that she's like, they have no like export products.
Nothing.
She's like, what they do is they sell literally drugs, meth, opium. She's like, that's what the export is like, and they're supported by China. She said the Chinese Communist Party, she said North Korea cannot survive one day without the Chinese Communist Party. She said China 100%
And Russia, too.
supports North Korea. But it's mainly China. Like China
I believe that.
Like she was saying it just the craziest shit, and it was scaring the shit out of me, yo. And she was just saying like, yo, this is what it is. They took all our guns. They took everything. They wanted to make everything. She said first they started paying for school. School became free. School became free. Healthcare became free. Everything became free, so that then you wanted to continue to just give up some things so you could rely on the government because it was free. So it just kept doing everything free. She's like, and then one day you just took everything away.
Bro, they couldn't survive, like you said that they couldn't survive without China. They can't survive without they're not even that big of a place. If it wasn't for Russia and China like backing these guys, they wouldn't exist.
But at the same time, they have nuclear weapons and a very powerful military.
Yeah.
They have nuclear weapons. So, like, that's the reason. Like, it's straight up, like, she was talking about the hypocrisy.
Who do you think is giving them that technology? It's got to be, like, Russia and China. First of all, it's attached to Russia.
It's China. It's China, bro. It's China.
Possibly.
China's the one giving them fucking...
I know they have strong relationships with Russia, and it's
I'm not sure about
geographically,
Russia.
it's connected. Like, they're, like, it's under Russia.
Well, that's the reason why China, well, not Russia, but China supports North Korea so much because it's a buffer between like South Korea and Japan and China because those are both democratic or non-communist countries. So that becomes the buffer for them. Like they have to keep a communist ally, like that's in that circle.
I wonder why they never, well, not that I wonder why, but there's countries like Laos that it's a communism country, but they have like some capital, like foundations, like they have like some forms of capital, and I'm like, you're still not allowed to talk about the president, but like you could sell fruits on the corner, and you could just pay us some taxes and we'll be cool. Like they have like a blend of both. It's a weird fucking thing. I could talk about communism all night.
Yeah, let's switch this up because this is why I have guns.
Yeah. And this is why when America, if you have money, you can just go to the moon. You could just go to outer space.
Where?
You look at
In
these
America?
you look at these billionaires. They're just going out of space now.
But those aren't just any billionaires. These are billionaires that are funneling money to China. Through their, that's how you end up getting.
So how do you connect the Virgin Mobile dude with China?
That I don't know about Richard Branson. He's not that kind of motherfucker.
Yeah, but Jeff Bezos?
You don't make the amount of money in the amount of time that Jeff Bezos did without a massive part of your market being in China. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just.
I guess he has a lot of products in China, but they don't make anything. They don't make a single product.
Amazon?
Yeah.
No, they don't produce.
They don't produce anything, and I don't even know if.
Well, I shouldn't say that. To be honest, I don't fucking know. I don't know that shit. I just know that a lot of people that are making that big money.
Yeah, we always fall down this China rabbit hole, you and I.
Yo, bro, because
you're always so passionate about
the way that nobody speaks on what's going on in China. Like everybody's opposed to slavery, except when slavery is occurring in a Chinese country.
Well, no,
China has slavery going on. North Korea has slavery going on. America don't say shit about it.
Well, you know why? It's because it would inconvenience us, So that beautiful shirt that you have that you might have paid $30-$40 for, maybe it'll be $80 if an underage Asian kid wasn't making it in a sweatshop. You know what I'm saying?
That might be true,
and that's why we don't say anything. It's because it's convenience.
Yeah, and it's a massive market. So
yeah,
but it just
it's like if your neighbor is like your friend, and his dad is like a dickhead and like forces his mom to take you to school every day, even though she doesn't want to. And he's like, go there and take the kids to school. It's like, you're not going to say anything because she's dropping you off at school every day, but it does suck that this guy smacks her around and makes her take you to school every day, But
yeah, I mean,
it's a terrible analogy.
No, I mean that makes sense in a way, but it's, to me, I just it's just scary to me when you have like Hulu actually created a documentary about North Korea and about the shit that goes on over there. Disney bought Hulu,
took that shit down,
and fucking squash that shit.
You remember the Seth Rogen movie, right?
Yeah. Nobody would release it. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Nobody
They sold
would
it on
release
YouTube.
Nobody would release it. I said, yo, this is craziness, son. And
You remember the South Park episode when they showed Muhammad?
oh yeah. Yeah. But that was just fear of like attack, not economic. Like people are just scared to do that shit. Remember in France when they were drawing up those comics of Muhammad, they ran up in there and bodied everybody in that newspaper. You know? But again, you can't you can't show fear and you can't,
That's crazy.
and you can't be a fucking hypocrite, yo. You know, you gotta, you know, sometimes you gotta do some gangster shit sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't really want to fucking talk about.
You want to talk about? We'll switch it up. We'll talk about Fast 9. You want to talk about Fast 9?
Fast 9, another one, huge Chinese market.
Oh my God! For
ahead.
the love of Christ, I didn't watch it. I'm not gonna watch it.
I don't watch it either.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it. I don't really even know why the fuck I mentioned it because
Rihanna's officially a billionaire.
is that true?
1.7 billion.
Damn, good for her.
Yeah, bro. Richest female musician of all time. $1.7 billion. I love how they say musician. She ain't making that money off of music. She's making that money off of fashion. You know, that's what it is. That Fenty Savage Fenty or whatever the hell. My girl got all that shit.
Yeah. Wow, good for her. Jeez.
Yeah, bro. Crazy, right? She just came out of nowhere. Low key, I feel like everybody's got their eye on Kanye, but then Rihanna came out here smashing the game.
What do you watching anything good on Netflix?
Manifest.
Oh yeah, I've seen Manifest.
You saw it already?
Not the whole thing. I
How
stopped
about
watching
My
it.
Unorthodox Life?
No, that I haven't seen. I've seen Manifest. I've been watching. I'm not proud of this, but
Not Outer Banks.
listen.
Ah, come on, bro. Outer Banks, son. I was just up in Cape Cod with my cousins, and my little cousins are watching that shit.
It's not a bad show.
They love that shit.
If
They
you're into
love
these
it.
teeny bopper fucking
Worst CPR scene
drama
I've ever seen in my
shows?
life.
Oh my God, yeah.
This motherfucker was like,
Yeah, he's like, I don't know how to do it.
I was like, dude, really? And that doctor was doing nothing. He was like, she's dead, man. Just like walked off. I'm like, this is the worst CPR scene. You need some kind of
I've
consultant.
seen people do CPR for like 20 minutes. Are you kidding me? This guy did it for 3 fucking seconds.
Bro,
And
doing compression's exhausting.
he pronounced her dead in like a minute.
Yeah, he's putting breaths like they're not tilting the head back, nothing. You
Dude,
need to
you've been
open the airway.
underwater. People been underwater for quadruple that amount of time. Have come back to life. This chick was down for 3 minutes. He's like, she lost too much blood.
Yeah, but she did get shot.
She did get shot. She healed miraculously well.
Yeah, she was walking around
Never
like 2
opened
days.
a stitch.
Never.
Popped a stitch, bro. And this bitch was running around braless for like fucking a week.
She
Never
had to
blew a
recover.
stitch.
She had to recover, man.
Crazy. Outer Banks, it's a show on Netflix. This is the reason why it's number 1.
Yeah, it's number 1, but
I don't believe that fucking Netflix bullshit top 10. I believe they're fucking just feeding us. I don't believe that's really an algorithm that tells me what's the most
no,
viewed
they're getting
shit.
paid. No, they're
Fuck
getting,
that.
It's getting paid and it's pushing the ones that you want to pop. You know,
There's got to be. It's impossible that these shows are on that top 10 for this fucking long.
yeah, no, it's impossible, bro. Manifest is good though.
Manifest is all right.
I think Manifest is good. I'm still in the first season.
Manifest, for the people who don't know, is a show about people who were on a plane and then landed. And when they landed, all of a sudden, it was like 9 years later. 5 years later.
Yeah, so like they come back, their lives are different and shit like that. Her
Yeah.
man married another chick. The other one's chick was hooking up with this dude. He was raising his daughter. He's all salty. But
Yo, that's wild,
yo,
right?
She got the 2 nicest guys in the world ever.
Yeah, and
I'm like,
guess what?
What?
Shocker, they have fucking superpowers.
Yeah, guess what? They come back and they start solving crimes and shit.
Yeah, that's why it's not bad. It is a very good show. What are you talking about? What's very good? Is it Manifest or the show that I watch?
Manifest or Outer Banks?
Outer Banks. It definitely is the Manifest isn't a bad show. Did you see that other show about like the disease that's taken over and like they're bringing soldiers in from the it's a movie and like there's the future, everything's dying or whatever, so they're sending people back in time to get people to go and fight in the war.
No. It's like Terminator?
Yeah, kinda. I never seen Terminator. but I understand like what
That's
happens.
that's the premise. Is it's a war
In the future?
where machines take over, and there's this one dude that was supposed to, this one dude that's fighting the war, but he was supposed to conceive like with a woman the kid that saves the human race. So he has to go back in time to find the chick he's supposed to hook up with. He hooks up with her, and a Terminator gets sent back in time to follow him to kill him, so he can't create that
no,
kid.
it's kind of like that in the sense that somebody's going back in time. This time, imagine they go back in time and they just get 500 people to come fight in the machine in the robot war. And they keep coming back, and it's a draft. So you just get selected. Like they come to your crib, and you're only gone for. First of all, it's like a 33% like return rate. Like everybody goes out there and dies, and they put this strap on your arm so like you can't get away, and you're only gone for like 7 days. But over there, it's like way longer.
Wow,
it's crazy. It was a good movie. I wish I could fucking say what it was called.
I gotta check that shit out, man. I'll find it, man. The internet is crazy. You could just be like, show where people go back to fight war, and they'll just suggest
100%. Hey Google, what's the movie where people go? Never mind. I ruined it. Anyways, so two things that I wrote down. I wanted to talk about this a while ago. It's kind of old news now, but I'm going to talk about it anyways.
Thank you, Taisha. Manifest is fire. I appreciate you.
Manifest is all right. It's definitely not bad. But Space Jam came out. The new Space Jam with LeBron James.
Sucks.
I thought it was. I fell asleep. Terrible.
Trash.
You can't. Yeah, no, trash. Out of like movies that are like being recreated now,
trash.
Dog shit. Twilight hit Netflix and just took over the fucking top 10. Couldn't fucking get a good recommendation.
What, the movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, my girl's watching it. I've seen it 10 times with these sparkly motherfuckers flying around.
I've seen it. They're not bad movies.
No, they're not terrible.
But fuck, I don't want to like. I rely on like some of these, and I shouldn't. I should just go out and find movies on my own. But like, I rely on some of these, like when I'm making last minute movie decisions.
The algorithms.
I'll rely on some of these algorithms to tell me like to recommend movies to me, and sometimes it's just like all 4 fucking Twilight movies can't be fucking trending at the same time. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing to me?
Yeah.
I like to use the Google trending because I believe, I know you don't trust Google because they probably are run by China too. But
figured acts.
Yeah.
Big facts.
But I use like the Google trending because it goes across like every platform. So it tells you what's going on, whether it's on Amazon or whether it's on Netflix, whether it's on Hulu. It tells you like what's trending. My personal opinion. Amongst all of them, that's like my favorite one. One of the things I wrote down, what the fuck is this? Sometimes I write things and I don't know what the fuck it is.
Let me see.
Another man duct taped. Did you see that other dude that got duct taped to the chair in the airplane?
No.
There's like 3 people that have been
Get
duct
outta
taped,
here.
and like 2 people in like the past 2 weeks that have been duct taped. One guy got duct taped because he was like trying to fight somebody or something like that. They duct taped him to the chair.
Who's
and then
duct taping?
the staff.
Damn.
And I don't even know where they're getting this duct tape.
You
I think they keep it on them now.
You ain't duct taping me.
No, this dude was dude with a plane full of people. They all just band together and they duct taped his mouth and everything. But the employees got suspended.
Yo, you can't be duct taping him. What did he do? Is there a video?
Yeah, there's a video. This guy, like, I think he was like trying to fight like attendants or something. I think he was like losing his mind.
The thing is, you're
And
up
then-
in an airplane. You
Yeah.
really can't gamble with letting a guy act crazy up there.
Exactly, bro. You can't.
I'll
fucking
probably
take
be the one
risk.
duct taping.
Yeah,
I'll be doing the duct taping.
I promise you right now, Justin would 1,000% be the first volunteer up there to help
I would.
put this dude in a rear naked choke.
Yo, for sure. You can't play. We're up in an airplane. You ain't doing that
Yeah,
shit, bro.
man,
I'm watching Manifest, bro. I need the next 5
They're
years.
duct taping
I
people.
damn sure ain't coming out this bitch 40.
Nah,
I ain't coming out this bitch 39. That shit ain't happening.
That's crazy, right? They all coming out. The kid, there was twins in the show Manifest. There's twins, and one of the kids was on the plane. The other kid wasn't.
Wait. Oh, yes.
Everybody knows this. This is like the first episode.
Yeah, I was like, wait, twins? But they haven't been twins to me in a minute.
Yeah,
like-
and the girl's like the older twin is a girl, and the younger, and like now there's like, and like it's.
Yeah, he comes back. She's fucking his
Yeah.
friend, and it's weird.
Yeah, wild. I told you I got into like a kind of a car accident.
You did?
Yeah, I don't know if
No.
this counts as a car accident.
Tell me. I'll be the judge. I'm Geico in this.
So I haven't been to my office in about like a year and a half, right?
Okay.
Maybe even over a year and a half I haven't been to my office. My boss asks me to go to my office as a new guy starting. Can you go over there and set him up? You know what I'm saying? we work remote, but I have to give him a laptop and like help him get in and like help him out real quick. 1, 2, 3. I'm like, yeah. My boss is a rock star, so I do whatever she asks. Anything she ever needs me to do, I'm more than happy to do for her. So I said, of course. My car had a flat tire for a while now, so I get my tire fixed, go to the car wash, get my car looking good. I'm ready to hit the streets. You know what I'm saying? I get in my car. I'm driving to work, windows down, you know, bumping the locks, having a grand old time.
That's where you fucked up.
Yeah, I know.
You can't
right?
bump the locks and be responsible driving.
So listen to this. I was in the middle lane, and the middle lane wasn't moving fast enough. So I go into the left, the far right lane, and the guy in front of me goes into the far right lane. It's open, and we're like just kind of going. Now, come onto the highway is like a landscaping truck. The landscaping truck, I guess, didn't secure some of their equipment down, and shovels, rakes, and just like shit just starts flying out of this fucking truck, bro. I'm talking about like 25 feet in the air, just like catches the wind, goes up, and just starts coming down. So the guy in front of me in the van starts swerving. So I drive a sports car. I drive an S5. It doesn't matter what I drive, but I drive an S5 just for context. So I start swerving too. I'm like,
he might see something you don't see.
Yeah. So I see now. I start to see it hit the ground. I see it in the air, and I start seeing it hit the ground. So I knew what it was. So I'm swerving him too, and then he swerves one late, and I swerve, and it nicks my car, and it hits my car essentially.
The rake?
Yeah.
Or a shovel or whatever?
I think it was I thought it was a broom that hit me.
Was it a hoe?
No.
Okay.
I haven't been hit by a hoe in years. I think it was a broom.
Okay.
But I don't know. The guy in front of me, the guy who was in front of me, he pulled over too. So of course I pulled up next to this dude, and I was like, "Bobby, you got to pull over. Like, you just hit me." He's like, "What?" So he pulls over. The guy in front of me pulls over, and he's like, "Yo, listen, it didn't hit me, but I seen it hit you, so I wanted to pull over. Like, here, take my information if you need me."
Yeah, I witnessed it. Like,
yeah. This guy comes out this car. He don't speak a lick of English. Not a lick of English. First of all, is like, and I don't even want to sound like racist or like disrespectful because these are my people. But
there were 85 dudes in the back seat. Half of them were drinking.
Yo, wild, right?
You ain't gotta tell me. I worked with these motherfuckers before. Like, dudes is popping Coronas with the seatbelt.
Yeah, I get to the door, and my Theo Piting is sitting in the passenger seat.
Pito.
What are you doing here? No, but so the guy gets out of the car, and I'm like, yo, you know, you're throwing rakes everywhere. And he's like, nah. And I was like,
you like, check, bro. You got no tools
I was like,
left.
bro, how many rakes did you have? I asked him, I was like, how many rakes did you have? And this is in Spanish because, first of all, he tried to come out and he tried to do that like me no speak English shit. And I was like, it's your lucky day, cabrón. Que yo hablo español. So I was like, you're not going to fucking get me, papito. So he starts to talk to him in Spanish. And he had to tell him, I'm like, how many rakes did you have? Tell me how many rakes you had when you left the yard today. How many rakes did you have? Because I bet you I'm going to go back there and you're going to have a few less rakes than you think you have. So he's like, show me where it hit you. So he goes to my car. He sees it. He goes, that didn't happen. And I'm like, dude, it's 9:30. I'm late to work. It's like 9:20. I didn't have to be at the office till 9:30. So it's like 9:20. And I'm 2 exits away. But I tell him, I'm like, dude, I'm late to work. You think I'm pulling over to play games with you so I could get you to fix a scratch on my car? I was like, I don't care what happens. I want when I left the house, my car looked a certain way. Do whatever you got to do to make it look that way again. He looks at me, he goes, déjeme llamar al patrón.
Calls his man from the body shop?
No, el patrón is the boss.
Oh, shit.
So he calls the boss, and the boss is like, yeah, get his information. I'm busy. So I'm like, listen, I take a picture of their car, and I get his information. He calls me. I know it's his number, and I'm going to go to work. I was like, tell your boss, call me. I go do what I got to do. I leave the office. It's like 11 or something like that. He still hasn't called me. I'm like, all right. I call him up. I'm like, yo, your boss ain't called me yet. I'm not playing no fucking Fugazi games with y'all.
Hell no, bro.
I'm not the one. I've seen people get the okie doke, and I'm not getting it.
Yeah, not today.
Right? Not today. So he says, I'm going to call him, and he'll call you. So he calls him. Nothing happens. At 12:30, I send my man a message. Yo, tell your boss that he needs to call me as soon as possible to avoid me having to go to the authorities about what happened. So tell him if he doesn't want me to report this to just call me and tell me like what's gonna happen. Because I just need a plan. Tell me what's the plan, right?
Yeah.
And so he calls me. So miraculously, half an hour later, I get a text from the boss's son, and he's like, go get an estimate. We'll take care of it. It was super simple. These guys are businessmen, and they handle business. I went. I got an estimate. They cut me a check on the spot for whatever it cost me to fix my car, and he went his way, and I went my way. That's the end of the story. But just crazy. Like the first time I go to work like in a year and a half. I go back to the office, and I'm dodging brooms on the fucking highway.
Fuck.
And my car that I haven't driven in so long, that's and sitting in my driveway, like gets smacked by a flying fucking rake or whatever it was that hit me. But
that's how that shit happens. Sometimes it's random. Me and my girl were driving one time down the fucking highway, bro. We're in the middle lane in the highway. We're fucking down like it's the LIE. We're fucking going like fucking 70 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour, whatever you do in the fucking middle lane, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
We're driving, and I start to see people hitting the brakes and doing that, swerving. So I start to slow down and fall back. I move over. There's a whole trailer, like, in the middle of the road, like, dropped like this. Like, it's, like, tipped forward on, like, the connection portion. You know what I mean? Like, on the hitch. Tipped forward, and it's like a good size, like, little trailer, like, that you would put, like, some tools in and shit like that. It was probably, like, a 5 by, like, 6.
Put a couple lawnmowers back there.
Yeah, exactly. Like a 5x6 trailer. I'm like, what the fuck? And I tell my girl, I'm like, yo, somebody just lost that shit on the highway.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking, I'm like, there's nobody around. It's just like in the middle of the road. I'm like, what the? It's one of those things where you're like, somebody needs to stop and get that out of the road. But you're like, anybody that stops is dead.
Yeah.
I'm like, so that's someone else's job. I'm out. I was like, somebody's going to call the cops. Bro, we get like 3 exits up. There's a truck pulled over on the side of the road with like fucking 3 papitos outside like this, scratching their head, looking at the back of the truck. Looking at the back of the truck like... I was like, yeah, it was them. I was like,
100%.
Yo, they were all looking at each other like, hat off like this.
There's like a safety. There's like that. You ever seen the chains that hang from those things? You know what those chains are for? So just in case that ball fails, like at least it'll be hooked by the chains.
Yeah.
Like you would drag it essentially. But there's like
that's assuming that's some kind of safety protocol.
They took that shit off, just like my dad takes the guard off of a grinder, like
on a saw.
Yeah, my dad takes the guard off. He's like, Bobby, I'm a professional. I don't need that. They put that on there for guys like you. It's the same thing my dad said about drop cloths and painting. I was like, aren't you going to put a drop cloth? He goes, Bobby, you need a drop cloth. I don't need a drop cloth. They got those things for guys like you that don't know what the fuck they're doing. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm my father's son.
Yo, that's hilarious.
Yeah, man.
I love that shit.
That's I got so much more shit, but everything else is kind of
Go ahead, bro. What else you got, man? Talk to me, bro.
Did you see I'll say this and then we could wrap it up because I think we've been on for quite a while now.
Close to an hour. I think we started like 10 after 8, quarter after 8.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. This is old news, but the Olympics are still going on. Fuck me.
Correct.
Did you see the volleyball team? They called it the women's beach handball team, and I was like, what the fuck is beach handball?
It's not volleyball anymore?
It is volleyball. The article I read said beach handball, but it probably was a European article
it was
because
probably another country.
Yeah, because it was Norway. So Norway's women's beach handball team gets fined for the women's shorts for women wearing shorts. They're fined €1,500.
Why? Because
they weren't wearing bikinis.
Really?
Yeah, because they weren't wearing bikini bottoms. Shout out to SpongeBob. Because they were wearing shorts. They can't. The bottoms can't be more than 10 centimeters on each side. How dare you
break that rule?
Yo,
how dare you break that rule? That's the only rule in sports I think that ever matters.
That's the only one that sticks, right?
The only one I support.
They should have found them more.
Yeah, they got off light.
Isn't that crazy?
Just kidding, guys.
Isn't that insane, bro? I got a bunch of other shit written down. The fucking chaos in South Africa that I wrote this down, but I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. And then Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. I don't know what's gonna happen with Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley.
I'm a little worried about Tyron Woodley, to be honest with you, bro.
Tyron Woodley hasn't won a fight in like 3 years.
Yeah, and all he has is that really hard overhand right, and that really isn't gonna be a thing. I feel like
They're not in the same. Jake's a
different
much
sport.
larger person. He's a heavier guy. Jake's definitely going to be his toughest competition, but that's not really saying much. I've seen Chad Mendez talking about he's going to start boxing too. Everybody's going to start boxing. That's where the money is right now, so people want to box. So Chad Mendez is going to start boxing. He wants to do some bare knuckle boxing, he said too. Mix it up with regular boxing and bare knuckle boxing. That's super cool. You see Paige Van Zandt fought the other day.
you see Logan Paul is fighting Anderson Silva. They're gonna
Is
box.
that solidified?
I think so. Don't quote me on that.
I don't want to watch him fight Anderson
Silva's gonna box him up. That's gonna be very different. Did you see Anderson Silva's boxing match?
Did
Did you see his boxing match?
But
He looked amazing.
You see who he boxed?
He fought a real boxer.
That guy was a real boxer?
He was a real fucking boxer.
Okay.
He was a real boxer. Like I don't know if he was ranked, but he was a legit boxer. And Anderson Silva looked like he's boxed forever.
Yeah, he looked good.
He looked so goddamn good.
Yeah. Blueface looked good that night too, though.
Nah, Blueface guy. That all I needed to see was that one punch that he threw at that fan. Like my man said,
If you guys didn't see the Blueface
I was
boxing
like,
match, after
come on,
the
bro.
fight, a fan sneaks in and I guess said some fuck shit to Blueface. Oh, he
said he
punched
hit
him.
him.
He hit Blueface, and then Blueface like throws a bunch of fucking I feel like his trainer whoever trained him. And no disrespect, because I'm not a quarter of as good of a boxer as his trainer probably is.
yeah,
But from my perspective, he just wasn't using his reach.
yeah.
He fought like a fighter who was not. He wasn't at the end of his punches. Like he was in my opinion, in my humble opinion, and I don't know anything. I didn't think he fought like he had as much length as he did.
Well, that you're used to watching fighters that train for their whole life. You know, this guy's not training for his whole life. So even if the boxer, I'm sure the trainer was telling him to do that.
Yeah.
But that's not something that you implement when you've been training for 3 months or you've been training for 4 months, 5 months, even a year.
I figured that like he would just have that because like when you start with scratch, like when you start from zero, and if that's all you know, that's what you know. Like you know to keep that distance and maintain it. Not about maintaining the distance, just keeping people at the end of your punches. And I felt like he was like coming in, and I'm like, dude, throw the jab. You know, he was like coming in close and then throwing the jab like from like in the chest. Yeah. And I'm like, you could have, if you were gonna throw the jab, you could have threw the jab. You know, a couple minutes ago, Kevin, you could have threw 2 jabs at this point. Yeah. You know, but I don't know shit, and you know, and neither does Blueface. But
you're comparing it to what you're used to seeing.
Yeah.
And what you know can be done. You know, and it's just he's not a trained fighter. I mean, he just started boxing, so I think he did pretty good considering he just started.
They might do a Blueface Tekashi 6ix9ine.
I don't think
Tekashi
that's a
was
good
supposed
idea.
to fight Aiden Ross.
Who's that?
He's a enormous Twitch streamer.
Okay.
But it just didn't go through. Tekashi said if they get him the same deal, he's getting $20 million to fight Aiden Ross.
Wow.
$20 million.
And is it with Triller?
No, it was with something boxing, like not influencer boxing, not celebrity boxing. It was something boxing. It was like something along those lines, like an influencer boxing company or amateur boxing. It was like a company that specialized in that. Like that's what the name sounded like, at least. But it wasn't Triller. Triller's not a fucking real thing.
Yo, Triller. Triller is what does verses.
Yeah.
That Triller is they're just about entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. They're
not a
whatever.
fighting.
They're whoever the fuck needs a show.
Yeah.
They're
Needs
like,
a
what do
show.
you want? You want to throw a party and do it on video? All right, yeah, come by. We could set that up. Oh, you want to throw a boxing match? You want to do a fucking cockfighting? They'll fucking do whatever the fuck you need them to do, which is weird because
And they put together a crazy show though.
they put together
time.
okay shows.
And their streaming is always dependable. Whatever platform they put it on.
I'll give you that their streaming is good. I don't know about them putting on good shows because I hated every single one of their events.
Well, they're not for us. I mean, in terms of production value and in terms of like,
Yes, the production value is good. I
Yeah.
don't think that they're doing the producing of the show either, because I don't think that they're the guys that said that we should do a 3-hour concert before we do a bunch
They're
of
a
boxing
promotion.
matches. Yeah, they're a promotion.
Yeah.
Correct. So I got nothing against Triller.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, and they do something that I really happen to like when it's a good matchup, and that's the verses. Like when a versus is done right, that shit is fire.
I've never seen one before this one.
Really,
Never seen one before.
I've been watching them since they were only on Instagram.
That was it.
Because it's Swiss Beats, Timbaland, and Triller.
Okay.
That's who does that shit. That's who like runs it, who owned it and started
I
it.
know they did like did they do Bow Wow versus Soulja Boy?
No, I think they're talking about doing that. They did I think Jagged Edge versus 112.
What?
Yeah, bro. They did
Damn,
bro, they
112
did
was a
Keisha
shit.
Cole versus Monica.
Keisha
they
Cole
did-
can't fuck with Monica.
Or no, it was Monica versus Brandy.
Oh,
Monica
nah,
versus
that's
Brandy.
that's some
Bro,
shit.
they
Oh
had-
my god.
You know what I said? I said this before I left my old job. I was like, yo, I need like my old job.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yo, you know what they need to do? I was like, they need to do a Biggie's mom versus Tupac's mom, and just have them playing records. Just have them playing fucking, you know,
playing
Afeni Shakur and fucking and is it Coretta Wallace? Coretta Wallace, I believe. Have the two of them just playing Tupac and Biggie records. I'm like, yo, that
That'd
shit
be
would
fire.
be, yo, it would break the internet.
That'd be fire.
It would break the internet.
Yeah, they'd never get it. I wonder. I don't know if they own all of their.
I don't care if they do or they don't. What label isn't gonna let Afeni Shakur press play on a Tupac record?
Yeah, that is true.
They'll cancel them.
What's going on with Kanye? Paying like a fucking couple $100,000 a day to live in MetLife or wherever the fuck he's living.
Yeah, he's doing something weird right now, but he's legendary. Whatever he's doing is gonna earn him $10 million. He's just one of those.
I'm not saying he's not going to make a bunch of money, but he definitely looks like he's like, my man is, shitting in his hand right now.
It's the new album that he's about to drop called Donda.
Yeah,
That's his mom's
That's
name.
his mom's name. Yeah.
So he's about to drop some shit. I hope that he really drops some shit. I don't want.
I hope I 1000% am a Kanye supporter. I'm a Kanye fan at least. I don't know how to put this because I'm a fan of Kanye's discography of music.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that Donda is similar to the Kanye that I liked.
I'm a fan of just Kanye as a person, to be honest with you, even though he does and says some crazy shit. For you to be as successful as he is, to be as successful as these major millionaires, and you got to be crazy. You got to be crazy. You're not telling me that Warren Buffett is a normal man. You're not telling me that Gary Vaynerchuk is a normal man. Jay-Z is not normal. Kanye West is not normal. Kanye West is just... his craziness is not a secret.
Everybody
Everybody else's
all,
shit is a
it's
secret.
it's a lot of external with Kanye.
Yeah, he's very upfront with what he thinks and very upfront. And that delusional belief in yourself, there's something to be said about that, in terms of success.
Yeah.
A delusional belief in your abilities and a delusional belief in yourself, that shit will get you somewhere.
Yeah. You got to
If
fake
have
it till
the
you
work
make it.
ethic. If you have the worth ethic.
100%. Yeah.
Because we all know a motherfucker that's going to fucking do some major shit. He's going to go to the moon, but he never read a book.
Bro, I seen videos of Riff Raff before he was anything, when he was still painting cars, and he was Riff Raff. He was like in character, 100% Riff Raff. No money, or not very. He wasn't the guy he is today. He's not Jody. He wasn't Jody High Roller or whatever his name is. He was just like, he was still the character. Like if you would have met him in the streets, you would have thought like he had the chain on and shit like that, but he was like living in an apartment. And he was just like a normal guy. I'm sure he had a decent amount of money, but he wasn't who he is today. And he's like the same person.
Yo,
He's been doing that forever.
You're
you know?
crazy.
That's the character.
Until you make it.
Yeah.
People think you're crazy, you're stupid, you're corny, you're dumb until you make it.
Yeah, and that's one of the. I read a thing today, or I listened to a thing today that said, you know why your friends won't support you or whatever, because, and this is the truth, and it may not be the truth for like us in this podcast, but the truth is like your friend, this, every rapper, musician, artist knows that your friends would be the last people to really support like your shit. And the thing I was listening to, it was in Spanish, but she was essentially saying that she was like, it's because they can't believe that you guys are from the same place and you're doing it and they're not.
Yeah.
And when she said it with me, and I don't think it resonated with me, but it just like it was an I was like, damn, I never thought about it that way, but that's an interesting thought. And that's what happens to some of these guys, that they're these characters and nobody believes them, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody believes like, you're super fly, man, you're super fly, until he really is super fly, and then you look back and you're like, damn, that motherfucker really was fly that whole time.
Yeah.
And now, he just faked it till he made it, and now he made it, and he solidified it.
Facts.
That's it.
It's crazy shit, man. I just can't help I just wonder why that is. Like, people, you say that like you're from the same place and they ain't doing shit. Like,
why the people closest to you will never be the people who are like your fans.
Yeah.
I don't
bro, when I released my first project, it was like 9 years ago. Something like that. When I released like my first full album, the majority of my streams are from overseas.
Yeah. Not even your friends.
Why am I getting 200 streams a week from anywhere but where I'm from?
We lucked out in the sense that a lot of our friends support the podcast.
Facts.
It's surprising to me because a lot of people don't get what the support that we get from our friends, but that's just the name of the game. It's weird. It's super weird. I never got it. My analogy was when we used to work in the same place, and there was 6 people in there that were rappers.
Yeah.
And I said my analogy when we said it when Ray was here. And I said, what if I played on the chess team in high school, and you played on the chess team in your high school.
Yeah.
And that guy played on the chess team, and then we all worked together. Don't you think it'd be weird if we never played chess together? Don't you think that'd be fucking weird? It'd be the weirdest thing ever. It's like, oh, you played chess in high school? You played chess in high school? Who's you guys go back and forth with it? And then I was like, no, we didn't. We actually never played against you. Never played with each other, or talked about playing with each other, or insinuated playing with each other, or even showed him
But I did make records with 2 of those people. So 3 of us did work together. But it should have been more than it was.
I'm not just using the 3 people that we're thinking about.
But you're right.
But I am right because you did music with them.
Yeah.
But there's other people that do music that maybe I don't want to say this person didn't do music with that person, but the majority of it is that people don't work together.
Correct. Especially in music.
For no specific reason.
Yeah. No, it's just
And it's not like that in the South.
It's just New York, though.
New York, people do not want to see anybody else achieve anything before them or something like that.
But that's how New York rolls with everything.
It's so fucking stupid that you can't fucking, me and you work together, you do something, or me and not even we work together, we're friends, you're doing something. Why not support you? I remember when you put out your Shuffle Beats store, your website. You were selling beats.
Yeah. You bought a beat.
I think I wanted to be the first one to buy a beat.
You were the first one to buy a beat. You bought a beat, and you didn't even necessarily have anything to use that beat for.
Didn't have anything to use the beat for.
But you bought the beat just to support what I was doing.
I probably never listened to that beat after I bought it.
Yeah, which I don't mind. I'm just like, that shit is crazy that my man, I literally know 100 rappers. I know 20 singers. You know what I'm saying? I know people I know people with businesses that need music for commercials. I know people with businesses that need music for videos, music for social media. And that would be music that was licensed to them, because if they purchased the lease or they purchased the beat outright, they could do whatever they want with it.
Yeah, I own my beat, by the way.
Yeah.
Anybody needs a beat, holla at me. Price went up.
So to me, it's just crazy that people just don't support. And it's it's the weirdest thing, because I support anybody that comes out. I bought clothes from my man that makes clothes. I bought records from my other man that fucking makes records. I bought fucking whatever it is. Whatever it is, I do it. Even with the skill set I have, be it producing music, shooting video, taking photos, I will donate that skill to people that I care about.
100%.
And that I believe in. I've taken pictures of people's stuff. I've taken videos of people's stuff. I mean, high quality productions that are I could have charged people $6,000 for some of the videos I made.
Well, I'm 100% always willing to help my friends out with anything, whether it be like I've assisted with people like, you know, building websites or you know, just whatever I can. I want. So yeah, and it's weird that like that's not the same energy. Not that I'm saying that it's weird that we don't reciprocate that energy, that we don't get it back. That's not what I'm saying. It's not woe is us. This is the communities like this.
Yes.
It's not about me and you not getting it, because I don't think that's the common denominator, right? I think that everybody's is like this. So same person that you bought T-shirts from, he probably has people he talks to every day that never bought a shirt off of him.
Yeah.
Same person who you bought records off of, that person probably has people they talk to all the time that, you know, probably want them to succeed, but don't realize that something as simple as like buying one record would help them succeed, right? Yeah. Wanting me to succeed does not help me as much as assisting me to succeed. Yeah. And a lot of times you can assist people for free. And how do you do that? You play their fucking music on YouTube. Even if you don't like it, put the fucking volume down and just let it run.
Exactly.
It's a couple minutes. Give it a thumbs up. If you're still listening to this podcast, give it a fucking thumbs up.
Yeah, it don't cost you anything. Thumbs up the shit. You know, that's it. I don't need that much more. If you want to click share, you want to click 2 more times, share it with somebody that you care about. Or you don't.
Yeah, or don't.
I mean, it's literally free and takes you seconds to do something like that. But for some reason, there's some kind of people just don't want to do it. And
people don't want to put their friends on publicly either. It's like they don't want to, like, I know people who do. I know Twiz is always posting people's stuff.
Facts.
You always posting people's stuff. Ray's always posting people's stuff. So people do it, but a lot of people do not do it. But if their husband starts fucking fixing TVs in the fucking kitchen, forget about it. They're posting that shit, you know, every other day, like, oh, you know, this is happening. But like your friends
and not unless they're financially struggling.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that. They're going to be like, oh, babe, stop fixing those TVs in the kitchen. Get a job.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a weird thing that, you know, like you could repost like a Ray J fucking song, but you can't repost your friend's shit. You want to repost
a bunch of people's shit that don't know you, don't fuck with you, and don't care if you drop dead today.
Yeah, or you'll post a meme.
That literally grew up with you, that knows you know this person, and you don't want to support them. It's weird.
Yeah, so shout out to everybody who supports us, who really knows us, and
real,
the people who fucking support us, and you know, you know us from here. We fuck with all you guys.
Because I'm telling you right now, anybody that watches this podcast, anybody that listens to this podcast, anybody that has any type of has ever heard about this podcast, if you watch 10 minutes of it, 5 minutes of it, this shit is better than fucking 85%, 90% of podcasts that are popping right now.
Facts.
And guess what? You could still thumbs it up and subscribe once we have 1 million subscribers, because I'll still welcome you.
We'll always be here with open arms.
You're still
but we
welcome.
Don't forget.
Yeah,
we know who's
you're
here.
Still welcome. So I'm telling you right now, support us if you like us, support us if you want to, whatever. But just remember this, because everybody comes from humble beginnings. We are 2 guys that built this shit ourselves from nothing. And I'm telling you right now, we're not stopping anytime soon. These 2 weeks off was because I had some serious shit that I had to take care of and shit I had to deal with. But don't worry, we're going to make this time up. This is episode 37.
37.
What do you guys think is going to happen? 37. We've been doing this shit for like 8 months. So get ready, because when we hit a year, watch when it starts to snowball. It's going to start to snowball. And then at that point, you're going to want to jump on top of that snowball and come rolling with us.
It's going to get disgusting.
I'm telling you right now, we're going to end right here, because sometimes when we push too long, there ends up being some kind of glitch in our shit. So what we're going to do is quit while we're ahead.
Yes.
And let you guys know that we love you, whether you subscribe, whether you don't. If you don't subscribe, keep on watching. I know there's a couple of haters on our podcast.
There's a couple phantom watchers.
Phantom watchers on our podcast. They watch us. They watch our moves. They do whatever. But listen, you will never be us, baby.
Episode 37, Masters of None. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. And if you're still here with us, please thumbs up, subscribe. That's it.
Let's go. I
gotta go to the thing. I gotta do the thing.
Te hablo desde la prisión, Wilson Manyoma, Borbona.